worked with a lot of people, thousands of them, to land their desired jobs. We offer trainings, to transition to more in-demand and more fulfilling career paths. We also offer services like personal branding services, CV, LinkedIn, optimization, cover letters, interview prep, career advisory, career mapping, which actually been helpful to loads of people, and we have over 500 success stories in the last 12 months. I'm confident that your success story is going to join our lineup of success story as well before this year rounds up. Today we are going to be learning everything about data analysis and business intelligence as a career path, the benefits, the prospects, and how we can actually become one as well, right? If we choose to. So what is data analysis? Data analysis is not a strange word to us. It's something we've heard. So data analysis isn't just a career path. It's actually also an in-demand skill that everybody needs. This is 2023, right? I'm sure probably 2 years ago, the situation that we have across the world, these disruptions of technology we have now isn't what we used to have. However, because of the disruption, artificial intelligence, this and that, there's some there's some skills that have become very basic, and the expectation is that everybody should be able to do some things, should be able to have a level of competency in data analysis, regardless of the role they are trying to apply for or their current career path. So what is data analysis? Data analysis is the process of analyzing data, raw data, to draw out meaningful insights, meaningful information that will be used for decision making. What is data? Data is any piece of, or is any piece of information. Our daily activities, right, in our homes is data to somebody else. The fact that you stepped out of your house, you closed the door, you moved a step, that is data. Because for someone capturing that, I'm sure we all know that everything we do is being captured, right? That is data for someone that wants to do an investigation later on an activity or an occurrence or an event, right? So data is any piece of information that can, that you can draw meaningful insights from. And this is 2023, where there's a lot of analysis that needs to be done, to predict, activities. A lot of activities and actions and decisions are actually data driven these days. We know, the fact, as we are even scrolling our phones, right, we are creating data for Google, we are creating data for a lot of third-party platforms that are picking and picking information that we're using. Why is data important? Data is important because because activities, decisions, events, needs to be predicted based on historical, data available. Say for instance, now you've just been paid, right? And you want to you've just been paid, or you receive a certain amount of money, right? If you want to know how to allocate that particular amount you've been paid, right, you need to use historical data, meaning, okay, so last month I spent £300 on food, I spent £200. That is you making a data-driven decision rather than just making an assumption that, you know what, this amount I've just earned would be okay for me for the rest of the month, or I can spend the entire thing on just an item rather than allocating it to the different needs that you have. Consciously or unconsciously, right, we all make data driven decision every second because we are relying on historical occurrences, we are relying on precedents and all that. So data is very important for businesses, because a business that will be successful, or a successful business has to rely on data to make decisions for the future, right? So data analysis helps us to make sense of past and to predict future trends and behaviors. Let's look at the way banks and companies also use your information. for targeted marketing, for instance. If probably in this month, you spend a lot on grocery, right? Even Google, between that time and next month, they'll be showing you more of grocery related adverts, right? A bank would also push to you products. They'll push to you products that are related to your expenditures or previous month's expenses. For instance, yesterday I got a mail from a bank in Nigeria pushing, what would I call it now? Mortgages to like Africans in diaspora. How did they know that I'm an African in diaspora? Right? This is them using data. Imagine if they wanted to run that advert and they just run it to their entire, I don't know how many millions of customers that they have. They won't actually get they won't get good leads from there. They won't get good results from there. However, because they have a data that you have imputed at some time in the other about your location, your number, so a bank or a company can decide that, what, can you limit the people that will get this message to, can we analyze our customer base? All the customer that we have on the spreadsheet, let's analyze them. Let's divide them into location. Let's analyze them by location. Let's categorize them by spending. Let's categorize them by income. Such that if there's a new product, or people that can afford this product are only people that are earning above this certain amount of money, right? So those are the people that they will push it to. But however, if they push it to all their customers, probably they even have customers that are even unemployed. They won't get, people to subscribe to that product if they do not leverage data. It is very important to leverage data. At this point now, I'm going to ask you a question, because like I said, we are going to make this very interactive, right? I just want each of you to tell me an activity that you unconsciously or consciously make in your everyday. Don't go too far. What is that activity that you use either historical data to make decision on? I would like to hear interesting. So let's use the chat box, of course, to drop activities that we use data consciously or unconsciously, to decide, to make decision on. So I'll be expecting, I'm looking at the chat box now. So first of all, do you think you use data to make decisions on your day-to-day activities? Yes or no? So I would like to see responses to that in the chat box. Thank you, Ashkaya. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you, Dami. Thank you, Rosalind. Thank you, Popola. Thank you very much. Having said that, can you just mention an activity that you use, that you use data for? It doesn't have to be data you are writing. It could even just be a thought that you decide just within a second, that you leverage an historical data from. Even in communication, you want to talk to somebody, but the last time you spoke to that person, what you told the person, got leaked or something. The moment you decide not to talk to that person unconsciously, or not to tell a secret to that person, you've leveraged historical data. Right. So can somebody, I just need one response now, an activity that you do on a daily that you leverage data for, especially for Excel and spatial data video? Budgeting. Thank you, Ashkaya. Thank you, Ridwan. Checking bank statements. Thank you. Thank you, Dami, as well. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I believe that we all understand what we're saying now. And as a result of this, right, we would always continue to generate data. For every activity we do, we would always continue to generate data. And you know what? As we continue to generate data, we'll continue to need data analysts. And that's why data analysts would continue to be in demand. So who is a data analyst, and what is the role of a data analyst, right? So a data analyst is a skilled professional, adept at harnessing the power of data, right? So they collect data, they clean data, and they do in-depth analysis of data. So just as we are all data analysts, right, in our own little homes, in our whole little heads, right? There's actually a role for those people that collect that data, right? Analyze the data, right? And also provide insights using that data. So data analysts use tools to extract valuable insights from complex data sets. So you see a spreadsheet of, there are different sources of data, right? You go to a particular source, maybe cargo.com or something, and you just download the data set. There's so many information, and there's so many information that a layman would not just be able to make just by looking at that long list of spreadsheets that a data analyst can extract, down to even what people consume on a daily basis, right? So data analysts don't just analyze data, they make very useful recommendations for decision, right? So, and as we all know, there's no business that does not want to be profitable. And for businesses to be profitable, they would need to continue to leverage their data. Even at RQY Careers, right? As a company as well, we also leverage data to know that, okay, you've given us your information, for instance, you've given us your information. Say, for instance, we want to push a particular information to only people, in a particular location. How do you think we would be able to know the people in that location? It's just by using the data we already have, sorting it, extracting, pivoting, and doing all sorts. That is what you would also be able to do. Even as a business person, if you're not even looking for a job, you need to be able to harness the data, your business data. For everybody that has made a purchase, there's a pattern that is being created. That pattern, you need to understand that pattern so that it can also influence, your decision for the future. Right? Say, for instance, now, let's use a bank that has about 20 locations. A bank has 20 locations, they are just operating, they're not using they're just operating, right? And maybe for one reason or the other, they need to maybe reduce the number of branches they have. What would they rely on to decide which of the branches to close? Right? They would probably need to decide to close maybe branches that are bringing less income, or branches that are, that have less visits, or that. But this less income, less number of visits, they would only be able to know the difference between a branch and the other branch by collecting data related to that branch, analyzing their data, and using it to make that decision. Right. So, this is me going, further to scenarios of banks and all that. But I want to believe that, we all understand, what and who a data analyst is. So a data analyst gather data, clean data. So say, for instance, you download the data sets. When you download the data sets, there will be outliers. There will be some people that are filled wrongly, or have put information that is not necessary. So as a data analyst, you need to remove, data that are not related, data that, are just, say, for instance, you said everybody should fill their name, their number, their email, just those 3 data points. And maybe somebody just fills name, does not fill the number. And it means that you can't use that person's data, that particular person's input, to make a decision, because so cleaning of data is removing outliers, removing unnecessary information and all that from the data set you have, so that you are not making wrong conclusions from the data sets. Visualization is that point where you make it into graphs, charts, beautiful presentations for stakeholder to be able to make the decision from it. Data collection, insights generation, and data analysis. So this is what a data analyst, this is what they do on a day-to-day. So what are the potential career paths and average salary of a data analyst? If you're considering data analysis as a career path, I would say that it's very important that you actually know, what is it a field? Because I know that a lot of people, when you want to make decision of the best career path for you. Definitely, you need to know whether it will pay you well, whether it would not be a career path that, in the next few months, you're already looking for something, something else to do because you've gotten to the peak. The peak is probably like 20K. You can't actually get higher than that, in that particular field. But in data analysis field, you know, it's a high paying role. You can see that the list we have here is about 49 or let's say 50K. That's the average. You can put in any location, put Canada. This is based on UK information. Put Canada, put, any location. Data analysis is a high paying role. So what are the other career paths that you can explore? The good thing about data analysis is that even as a data analyst, you are not limited to just titles like data analyst. Depending on the tools you can use, depending on how advanced you did eventually get, there are a wide range of roles that you can explore as a data analyst. You could decide to go in depth into programming and position yourself as a data scientist, data engineer, or just ability to use visualization tools like Power BI and Tableau will allow you to be able to apply for roles like business intelligence analyst, business intelligence specialist as well. You know what? The most fun part is the fact that, okay, you are coming from another background, because I know that most of us in this call are not just fresh graduates. We are coming from a field, we are coming from probably a career path, but there's a very good way you can blend your previous career path to data analysis as a skill, as an in-demand skill to form a very strong brand for yourself. Personally, I'm a senior finance analyst in a bank in the UK here in London. And how did I become a finance analyst? Is by combining my accountancy or accounting degree and background with analytical skills, with data analysis, right? And I was able to position myself for a very much in demand and rewarding senior finance analyst role. So, and this applies to everybody. If you are very familiar with our page, you see people who have finished our boot camp in data analysis, for instance, and have positioned themselves for roles like HR analysts, right? A lot of people complain about not being able to get HR roles in the UK. But the thing is, what have you added to that HR experience you have to like position yourself in an in-demand, field? So combination of data analysis and HR, makes you an HR analyst, people analyst, reward analyst, compensation analyst. That's talking about just HR. Now, I'm sure if, I would want us to now do a small task now, So I want you guys to, whatever your current role is, because I've seen a range of current roles, right? Your current role and analysis, and, think of a blend of a role that you can apply to, you know, that combines your current role and data analysis together. So let's see the interesting roles that we get in the chat box. So the task is what your current role is. When you add data analytical skills to it, what role does it form for you? I don't know. Do you guys get the interesting task we're supposed to work on? So for me, I would say it's finance analyst because I have a finance background and I'm an analyst. So combining the two together would get me, or would make, or would equal to a finance analyst. So I'm already seeing some very interesting insurance analyst, risk analyst, claims analyst, so that's combining insurance with data analysis. Supply chain business analyst, interesting. So that's combining, supply chain and analysis and analytical skills. Thank you. Clinical trial analyst. I like that, So that's combining, and the good thing about the UK is that they create roles like your stereotype. That's why you see a lot of success stories we share. Sometimes you'll be surprised with the course they did and the job they got, because in the UK they create roles out of need. They want combination of, combination of their needs. They need someone that is analytical, that is also, that is also business savvy. So they create roles out of that. So yes, I'm reading more. So I have business and Yes, so I've got accountant. So currently an accountant. So for me, I would say finance analyst or business intelligence analyst. Thank you. You're very right. HR analyst, reward analyst, legal operations analyst, interesting, management and business analyst, dictionary analyst. That's an interesting one. So that would be combining words to analysis. Is there a course like dictionary or a background like dictionary? But yes, there you have it, you know, marketing analyst, research analyst, business analyst, management information analyst, customer insights analyst, you know, financial analyst. There's no limits to, what you can combine to analytical skills. In fact, let's even not, it doesn't even have to have the title analyst. There's someone that finished a data analysis bootcamp and got a project manager role. And how did he get that role? He got that role because he was able to prove, that he could use analytical skills, which he learns in the bootcamp. Right. He had a bit of project management experience. He wanted to add, something else to what he already had to position himself for better, opportunities in the UK. And of all the project managers that they interviewed for the role, who were also equally good, he was the only one who had analytical skills. And therefore, he got the project manager. So you might not even know that it's even the analytical skills that you have that has actually earned you your next project manager role, business analyst. Even there are some business analyst roles, for instance, so that they will say you need to be able to use Tableau, Power BI, you know, SQL, and that's not because that's the standard. That's because that's the business need. The business already have a lot of business analysts, but they want this particular business analyst that they want to employ now to be able to use Tableau and Power BI. So that would influence their hiring decision for that role. So that's why in this market, right, we need to just be as equipped as possible, with as much in-demand skills and tools that we can. Okay, so I love this class, very engaging and very, interesting. So as we move on, so those are the potential career paths. There's no limit to what you can position yourself, for in the different fields or backgrounds that you have. There's a way you can add data analysis to it or analytical skills to it to stand out in this very competitive job markets. So what are the tools that are widely used by data analysts? As a data analyst, you need to be able to use MS Excel, you know, from basic to advanced. You need to be able to use SQL, Power BI, Tableau, and PowerPoint. You even be so, PowerPoint for presentation and visualization as well. If the company has not moved to the automated tools like Power BI and Tableau, you will even be surprised that there are a lot of people that would get, analytical roles, and the only thing they want them to use might just be Excel. The only thing they would want them to be able to use is SQL because they already have some automated tools that have been plugged into their Excel or that have been plugged in, The only thing you need to be able to use might just be even one of these tools. However, as a starter and, to get started as a data analyst, these are the most in-demand tools that you can combine together, with whatever it is you already have to become a data analyst. I got a success story from one of our students this morning, who is a data analyst. He got a commercial finance analyst after finishing our data analysis bootcamp. Obviously, he had a finance background with it. And, he was saying that what he uses on his day-to-day is Excel. Although the company is trying to move to another, to be honest, half of the UK companies that are employing for analytical roles. It's just even Excel that some of them use. However, they won't employ someone that can only use Excel. They would employ someone that can use all in case they now need to transition tomorrow, because a lot of companies are also going through change, system transformation, business transformation. They would need to get back into the job market again to go and hire. So so they would employ someone that, has quite a number of tools that they are competent in, rather than someone that can only use Excel, even if it's Excel that they would need at that moment. Right. So this is just to let you understand the power of being equipped and staying ready in the job market. So, what are the soft and technical skills required as a data analyst? If you want to position yourself for data analytical skills, for data analysis or data related roles, you need to be quite analytical. That does not need explaining, right? Just as the name implies, you need to be able to think critically, right, and be able to make decisions based on data and be quite analytical, to be honest. Say, for instance, if you analyze a particular data set today, this month, you analyze it next month, analyze it 2 months time, you should be able to talk, confidently that sales is lower this particular month. Why? This is not the usual trend I've been seeing. Why is it lower? Why is it so you need to be analytical, you need to be critical, you need to have problem solving skills. That's also, I mean, as a data analyst, you need to be able to solve problems. As a data analyst, you need to be able to compare this month's performance with last month's performance, or this particular data with that data, and be able to tell the difference. You need to be able to do reconciliation. You need to be able to do root cause analysis. You need to have a problem solving mindset, right? As a data analyst, you need to be able to communicate. As a data analyst, you need to be good with oral, written communication. You need to be able to collaborate, with people as a data analyst. And one thing I noticed that a lot of people are missing, especially when transitioning to tech or people that are already in tech, is that soft skills. There are lots of people that can use technical skills, but not a lot of people are quite good with soft skills, with emotional intelligence, with teamwork, with collaboration. And that's what will make the difference between, you know, between a person and another person, or a professional and another professional, especially when they need to, like, decide among two, last candidates who would get the job. Two of them can do this. They both submitted the technical tasks. They both did wonderfully well. However, one person spoke better, presented better, collaborated better, So it's very important that we also have, the soft skills required for the role. So stakeholder management. As a data analyst, you would need to work with other stakeholders in your workplace, either to get data from them, or to give data to them, or to work with them in preparing your analysis, right? So you need to be able to, you know, demonstrate very good stakeholder management skills, negotiation, conflict resolution, reporting, proper escalation when necessary, because that is what makes, the entire difference. Process improvement, automation, facilitation. You worked on this data sets this month, what are the blockers you faced? What can you improve? What are the redundant processes there that you can take away, to do a better, to deliver faster, to review better. You need to be competent in the technical skill tools like Power BI, Tableau, SQL, Excel, like we mentioned. You need to have a solution mindset. You need to have a solution mindset as a data analyst, because there will always be problems. There would always be, but you can't just escalate. You need to come up with the solutions as well. So you are analyzing this data. You are looking at sales figure for the month of October, and you are seeing a particular week on the graph. The graph is hitting the wall, meaning that is higher than every. Well, why? Why is it? You can't just analyze data, put in the figure, and then it has brought out a graph to you, and you are presenting the graph to your supervisor. You need to already have your whys. Why is this week higher? Is it that there was a seasonal? Is it Christmas? Why is sales higher this month? Are people shopping for Christmas? Is it that is winter? People are now shopping a lot of, warm clothing. That's depending on the business. I'm using very random examples. Or is it that, it's this particular season? You need to have your whys. That's what makes the difference, you know, as a data analyst. You need to have your whys in place. You need to do your root cause analysis. You've noticed that this particular line is longer than last month, longer than this time last year. Why? Then you need to do a root cause analysis, expand on that particular data set to actually see the why. Do your variance analysis, do your reconciliation. Is there an error, or is there an actual trend or pattern that you're observing? Data visualization. You need to be able to present your data in a way that is consumable by stakeholders and by decision makers. They don't want to scroll through spreadsheets like 1,000, 1,000,000 rows before they know which branch is doing better, which product is doing better, which products they need to stop producing, which branch they need to close. You need to be able to visualize data in an attractive, way. You need to get your commentary right. You need to be able to explain your whys, just like I said earlier. Research and data capturing as well. You need to be able to capture, data appropriately. It's okay if you feel that, you do not have any of these skills. There are skills that can be developed, that can be worked on, but I can actually tell that as professionals, in our existing roles, these are transferable skills that we might already have, you know, we might not have actually used them a lot, or you might not even know you've been using them, but I'm sure that um at some point you would have, used some of these skills, or you might already have them. So, how do we become a data analyst? Before we move on to how we can become a data analyst, I want us to do another task. Is there any of these tasks you can see on my screen that you think you have used before, or that you think you possess, or that you think you have? So I'll be going to the chat box again. So if you think you have problem solving skills, just drop the skill, either soft or technical, that you think you already have. I can already solve problem. I can do variance analysis. I'm very good at stakeholder management. Can you guys hear me? Stakeholder management by Rafat. Thank you. Communication, stakeholder management, and analytical. You see, I already have data analysts in the house. Solution mindset, Fumilayo, Dami, analytical problem solving. It looks like it's the same set of people that are answering my questions. So I think I'll start calling names. Stakeholder management, process improvement, solution mindset. Thank you, Dami. Roslyn, analytical problem solving. Popola, stakeholder management. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that's it. There you have it. We already have these skills, and that's what they call transferable skills. When we are planning to transition, one thing that should give us that rest of mind that it is possible is that you already have most of these skills, from your previous roles, right? You just need to know how to apply them in the new career path you're exploring. So how do we become data analysts? I've said a lot about, the role itself, about data, So how do we become data analysts? The first thing to become data analyst is to develop the technical proficiency, right? You need to learn this. First of all, you need to learn the technical skills and tools and skills. You already have transferable skills, yeah, but you need to be able to use Excel, Power BI, Tableau, SQL, and even more if you are able to. That's to talk about, the basics. You need to be able to use these skills. You need to learn them. Enhance your soft skills. Like we've already mentioned some of the soft skills. If you feel that you don't, have this, or you are not, you need to work on it. Improve your communication skills, improve your problem solving abilities, improve your team management, improve your teamwork, improve your collaboration skills. After you've acquired your soft skills and technical skills, the next thing to do is to optimize your brand. So how can, optimize your brand? Optimize your brand for the new role. Work on your CV, because if you have the skills but you don't apply for jobs, you can only just be daydreaming. Just like we've all said now, we all have some of these skills. But I've never seen myself as a data analyst. You need to rebrand yourself as a data analyst. Right. So you also need to network. Network with professionals that are already data analysts, who are experts in the field, who are also, trying to become data analysts like yourself. So you need to network, and you need to network and leverage communities, and all that. You need to gain practical experience on real projects. That's very important, because you can use everybody said they can use Excel, right? But if you've never used Excel as a data analyst, you might not know of how much Excel can actually do and how other people use Excel. You might just use Excel on your day-to-day to just impute data. Oh, there's a new sale. You impute name, number. That's all you use Excel for. That does not make you a data analyst. You need to gain practical work experience, as a data analyst, to be confident, because confidence is one of the very important ingredients to transition and land your desired role as a data analyst. You need to develop a portfolio, work on projects to develop a portfolio. For every project you work on, add it to your portfolio. You need to have a web portfolio where you add your projects to. You need to join a supportive community to stay accountable, share insights, or to keep you inspired, have accountability partners and all that. And then you need to apply for the jobs. Apply for jobs. You've done your brand, you've learned the skills, you need to apply for jobs. Job application process is a non-ending activity that you continue to do so long as you still want to. I mean, even if you get your first job, it doesn't stop you, from continuing to apply. And job application is actually is. I think I was even surprised recently that some people don't even know how to apply for jobs. Probably because you're coming from a background or a particular location or country where job application process is not really rigorous. You just need to tell somebody who knows somebody that, you're looking for a job somewhere, or you have an uncle who is an MD director, something somewhere. So you don't even know how to like apply to jobs. I get lots of, inquiries about, do you help to apply to jobs? I need somebody to help me apply to jobs. So we need to actually, learn how to apply to jobs and apply to these jobs. You need to prepare for the interviews, both for the technical tasks, the competency based, as well as the behavioral aspects. And, if ultimately land your desired role as a data analyst, finance analyst, research analyst, insight analyst, MI analyst, and the likes, whatever your own goal is. So this is our own framework of becoming a data analyst. So having said all that, right? Um, okay, I have some other responses: data visualization, problem solving, stakeholder management, analytical problem solving, process improvements, visualization, stakeholder management. Before we proceed, like I said as well, let's try to share the links. Let's get our friends and families to join us on the session to also benefit from this session. So, having said that, I'm going to introduce you now to the RKY Data Analysis and Business Intelligence Bootcamp. So this is this is a bootcamp, right? That's been designed to take data analysts, to take aspiring data analysts, finance analysts, business intelligence analysts from wherever they are, with zero experience, zero transferable skills, or multiple transferable skills, wherever you are at the moment, to becoming a data analyst. Either for you to get a job in as a data analyst, or for you to employ these skills to better yourself personally, to better your business, or to achieve whatever your own goal and motivation is. And when we say we have designed this, based on the framework I showed you earlier, all of the things we said you need to get to become a data analyst has been inculcated into this bootcamp. You get to learn the technical skills, you get to learn the soft skills through group projects, learn collaboration skills, not learn. You get to enhance it. Collaboration skills, work in a team, work with a team, lead a team, make recommendations to stakeholders, manage stakeholders, network, gain practical experience working on real projects. You get to build your portfolio. You get to like join our alumni community for continuous support as well, and you get insights on job search strategies, interview preparation, visa sponsorship strategies, and the likes. So we have put together a bootcamp that's, addresses everything you need from zero experience to becoming a data analyst. So what are the perks of the RKY careers data analysis and business intelligence bootcamp. You get expert-led live classes, not recordings, because I get a lot of complaints of people that pay so much, pay £700, £900 for bootcamps, and all they get are recordings without any experts or real people guiding and teaching them. Ours is ours is an expert-led class, and then you get access to our LMS. Our LMS is our learning management system, where all recordings, resources, and all that for the bootcamp is warehoused. So meaning that if you want to learn at your own pace, you are unable to attend physical classes all the time, you can revert back to the LMS and you get access to this for up to 12 months after the bootcamp. So probably you're even, if you've watched some of our success stories or read some of our success stories, you see how a lot of our alumni who are already in jobs also go back to the LMS to catch up on things that they are struggling with on their day-to-day work. Right. So you also get support, you get to work on real life projects, analyzing clients' data, presenting this data as groups, as individuals, to stakeholders who would then use it for decision making. We work on your portfolio, a web-based, so you get a website, that's a web-based portfolio where you can showcase the projects you work on during the bootcamp. You'll be working on nothing less than 6 or up to 10 projects, I think, ranging from Excel, Power BI, Tableau, SQL, individual projects, group projects as well. We also have lots of career support sessions like the interview prep session, the monthly alumni sessions, the visa sponsorship strategy session, job search session, technical interview, session, case studies, and all that. So all this, so you get UK work reference as well for projects that you have worked on. So because a lot of people also struggle to get their first UK job, probably because they don't have, verifiable UK reference on their CVs. We also do your CV and your LinkedIn for you at the end of the bootcamp. We work on your CV, we work on your LinkedIn, we apply to a couple of jobs for you at the end of your LinkedIn optimization as well, to get you started. Right, so we provide support for you from zero experience down to when you land your desired job. So who can take our bootcamp? Entry-level professionals looking to start a career in data analysis or business intelligence. So you don't have any work experience at all. However, you want to gain, work experience, you want to gain the skills to become a data analyst. You've just finished your MSc after that, your BSc after that, you moved on straight to doing your MSc. You don't have any professional experience, this is for you. Anyone wants to gain analytical skills to enhance and stand out in their current profession. So, like I said earlier, you're a lawyer, you're an HR professional, you're a project manager, you're a business analyst, you're an accountant, you're not looking to transition, but you want to acquire in-demand skills, to add to what you already have, to stand out in the job market, just like Paul, one of our students, who joined the data analysis bootcamp. He had just about 6 months or so experience in project management. And like I said the story earlier too, like when he applied, he showcased to them, I think he was given some dashboard to build, which he learned during our bootcamp, and he was able to get, the job with the NHS, with visa sponsorship, managing over 10 stakeholders, 10 colleagues as well, just because he was able to use, data analytical skills. So professionals in their mid-careers who are either transitioning from a career path or looking to enhance their knowledge of data analytical tools, skills. Of course, in this space that we are, I can see it based on your introductions, a lot of us are in the UK. I'm sure we're not born in the UK. Most of us were born in another country. Probably we've had our first sets, of years in our career, in another country as well. However, we've moved here, and now that we've moved here, we need to enhance our prospects. We don't want to settle for less. We don't want to apply or stay stuck in menial jobs. Yes, transition jobs are good because at the end of the day, bills need to be paid. Depending on how proactive you are, you might have to take, some jobs at some stages in your journey, right, to pay the bills. But you don't want to be stuck there, even if you're on a visa sponsorship from a healthcare, for instance, or from a job that you don't really love. 5 years will be over in no time. And then what next? What next? Is it at that time, you now want to start thinking of, okay, what do I do? What's next? I'm already stuck here. I'm not, because a lot of people are actually stuck. They have their papers now, but they don't even know where to start from. They don't even know where to start from. They just remain in that career path. So if this is you, you already have sponsorship, or you are currently a carer, you're currently a security person. First of all, I commend you, because the most important thing is to get something to be able to pay bills, right? However, do not stay stuck in that career path that you do not like. You can build a career path in any industry, don't get me wrong, even in healthcare industry. The thing is, do not settle for less. You don't have to be a carer for the rest of your life. You can add analytical skills what you have and apply for management position in that same care industry, in that same care home, or in the next one. But the most important thing is to continue to develop yourself. So continue to, you don't know when those skills will come useful for you. You don't know when those skills will become useful. You could even be in the UK and be working in an American company. If people in Nigeria are getting remote jobs and working in Nigeria, working in Ghana, in America, what's stopping you that you are in Europe, or, from getting those kind of jobs as well? So the opportunities abound. You just need to have that relevant skill, right, that you would explore. And you don't even know when the opportunity will come, calling. So, what are the competencies you will gain in our boot camp? To control the group. There will be no social event when somebody wants a social hand. Binto, please mute yourself. Thank you very much. So, what are the competency you would gain in the boot camp? So what are the competencies? You'll be able to extract data with SQL. So how does data analysis even work? How does all these tools, how do they work together? SQL is a database management tool that companies uses to warehouse their data. So for instance, I'll use RQY as an example. As you are booking on our website, let's say we use SQL as our database management system. As you are booking on our website, the data of your booking, of the information you've put in, goes into a database goes into a database. So SQL is the tool you will use to fetch that data. So say for instance, you now need to just write a query. Help me get, and I'm using layman English now to ask, help me get number of bookings this month. Help me get number of bookings this week. Help me get locations, this week. Help me get the entire customer database in RQI. And then when you get that data, you write the query, SQL will give you that data in an Excel kind of format. You download it. Depending on how your company have connected those tools together and all that, then you get to analyze that data. Okay, I have all the people that booked this week. What do you want to do? What can we possibly do with this information? Okay, where did they come from? Did they come from Birmingham? Did they come from London? Did they come from this? How much did they spend? Where did the highest spending come from? Based on this, what kind of information can we deduce? Do we want to say that people in London, are booking more than people in Birmingham? So where should we advertise more? Should our advertisement, should we target Birmingham because we are not getting a lot from Birmingham, or should we target Manchester because no booking even came from Manchester? That is what data analysis help companies to do. So you'll be able to build data dashboards. I'm sure as we proceed, you also see how some of our students have been able to, or are now able to build dashboards, with their newly acquired skills that, they use to present insights and information to stakeholders. Business intelligence, right? Business intelligence is, just as it's called intelligence. Intelligence is like getting insights, right? You'll be able to like draw out insights from useful data and visualize this data. Data analysis with SQL and Excel, data extraction, data visualization with Tableau, and also soft skills. So what differentiates our bootcamp from a lot of other ones you might have heard about or read about or Googled or found is the fact that you not only gain the technical skills, You not only learn, because a lot of people can use Excel. Everybody can go to Google to get a free course to learn Excel. But how do you now put all this together? Because there are some people that at the stage they are, they've learned all these things scatteredly, but they don't know how to put all this together. They don't even know the soft skills that they need to showcase more at interviews based on the kind of job they're trying to apply for. As a data analyst, you need to have very good attention to details because the information and data you are working on is being relied upon for very strategic and important decisions. So when you are talking at a data analyst interview, for instance, you don't want to talk about a scenario where there's a lack of attention to details. Even when you're explaining your collaboration skills, if that's what is being tested, you want to chip in something about you paying attention to details, you spotting what nobody spotted. That is what makes the difference. So you also get to learn soft skills by working on group projects with other stakeholders. You get to learn stakeholder management skills. You get to work to tight deadline. You get to work with other people. If you've been learning on your own here and there, the difference between this and learning on Google or learning online or learning via a recorded video is that you get to work with other professionals to see what it is like to actually work, to see what it's like on a real life situation. Collaborate with others, work with others, collaborate with others, and lead others if that's the role you get. And then make recommendations, very insightful and useful recommendations based on your analysis to stakeholders. That's what I do on a day-to-day. And all I do is analyze, analyze, So yeah, that's the competency you will gain in the boot camp. So, shedding more light about the final. So you work on lots of projects, both individual and group projects. One of the projects you work on is the group project where, you'll be provided with real-world data sets, to address a data-related problem and then prepare, clean, analyze it to draw meaningful conclusions. Candidates we will then present to project stakeholders the outcome of your analysis and you make recommendations for the business, which I find very interesting. I always find those presentations very interesting. If you also go through our page, you see a lot of past candidates who have actually, been able to develop their confidence in presenting, and also enhance their soft skills through these projects. So yeah, I also talked about professional web portfolio as well, which is more like a website. This comes with the extensive package anyways, so that's you get your CV done, you get your LinkedIn. However, for some roles, you need more than just a very good CV and LinkedIn. You need to be able to show previous projects you've worked on in a visual, format. So you get to like build an SEO, friendly web portfolio. So these are some of the success stories we've had from this bootcamp that we are able to like fit into the page. So these are some data analysis related, or analytical related success stories. You can see people getting HR reward analyst role, data and information service officer, finance analyst, events planning analyst, operational research analyst with the civil service, commercial finance analyst with an international company, visa sponsorship jobs as data analyst, visa sponsorship jobs with the NHS. This is just to name a few. Right. So I also have some videos here that I planned to play before, but I think we've actually, I think we are behind schedule. But these are people that had zero experience, who now have landed desired jobs. These are videos. You can go to our YouTube to watch these videos. Our YouTube name is RKY Careers. So this is just to show you that we've worked with many. We have evidence to show for it. So having said all that, I'm sure you are very interested. I want to be like, I'm sure you are very, excited about the possibilities, and all that, but I'll take some questions, in the chat box before we move to the next stage. So please, would we be trained on Power BI as well? So yes, in the bootcamp, you'll be trained on Excel, Power BI, Tableau, and SQL. And then you also get some bonus classes like Introduction to Python, Outreach, PowerPoints, which, are not listed here as well. So, are they okay, I think they are combined. I think we have that question has been answered. Thank you for Lashade for answering the question. So, what is the value of this bootcamp? Based on everything I've said, I'm sure you're already scared that with all these things RQY is promising or not promising, RQY is as stated. What would the cost or the value of this bootcamp be? I've said there will be expert-led classes for 8 weeks. So the bootcamp is for 8 to 10 weeks. We also have what we call the drop-in sessions because we are very practical. In each of the class, you get practical tasks to work on. So because the thing is, you can't learn Excel by just watching a video. You need to get your hands dirty. You can't learn Power BI and Tableau by just sitting there and watching videos hours long. You need to get your hands dirty. So we have what we call the extra drop-in session that holds twice a week as well, where you get to come in, experts will be waiting, you get to come in, okay, I watched the video of the class, I practiced this, but I'm having this issue. If you don't even have questions, you can also put up in, to ask your questions. And this is different from the live classes that happen on Saturday and Sundays as well, 5 to 7 p.m. So you get access to our user-friendly LMS. And the good thing is that on our LMS, you are not just limited to what's your daily classes are. You also have access to like wealth of resources that we have compiled over the different cohorts we have had. So UK job reference for the projects, UK get practical projects, interview prep, CV and LinkedIn optimization, professional web portfolio. This is what you get from the extensive package. I know a lot of competitors and other brands that just will teach you, some of these things. They will tell you they will do CV and LinkedIn, but they tell you it's a workshop. You just come in, you come and learn how to do it, and then you go and do it yourself. We still get a lot because we have standalone services in CV and LinkedIn. We get a lot of people that have paid £900 and thereabouts in other training institutes, but they will still come and pay for CV and LinkedIn with us separately or pay for our web portfolio. Right. But so having said that, what's the value of the bootcamp based on the value we are giving you? The value should ordinarily be around £1,500, if not more. I've actually seen some, training that offers exactly what we offer, being valued at 10,000, where you get to pay like 2K a month or something like that. Something that's funny. But because, RKY, our own vision is to get as many people in our community, in the Black community, in the immigrant BAME community, to actually be empowered, we are, extending our end of the year discounts, which is bringing back down the value of the extensive package. So we have two packages. I didn't bother to put the standard here because the standard is the cheaper one where you don't get to get your CV, LinkedIn, and web portfolio done. So there's no point putting it there because we are actually discounting the most robust of the packages at even a cheaper price than what the standard used to be. Right. And what am I saying? Even those that have their success stories, you are getting an opportunity to get your own success story for less than the price that anybody that have enrolled for this course in the past have enrolled for. I think originally, if you are paying one-off in this bootcamp, the price is 600 for the extensive. And if you are paying in installments, it's 675. If you've attended any of our sessions before, I think you might remember that. So, however, because, RKY is giving back, is the end of the year. We want to get as many people as possible to have a very good start in 2024. We're rounding up the year with our end of the year discounts. So bringing down the price to £499. And another good part is that, you can also pay twice. So you can pay 250 initial deposit and balance by November. Because ordinarily, if you're paying one-off in this bootcamp, it used to be £600. So you can see that, we're actually giving back and trying to get as many people into tech and into this field as possible. So I think we have maybe 1 or 2 people joining from Nigeria as well. So if you are joining from Nigeria, you can send a message to the numbers we have below, to do that, to get what the Naira value is. However, if you are in the UK and you want to get UK work experience from this bootcamp, you should be paying the pounds amount, which is the £499. And if you want to pay in Naira, if you are based in the UK, you can use the prevailing rate, which is about 1,400 today or so, to change back to the Naira. So I believe that we all got that. So I'm going to give about 5-10 minutes to take questions, and the WhatsApp lines are active. So please send your, once you've made the payments as well. So let's try to make the payment, because I think we've been running, we need to, we've been running these discounts for a while now. And I think the discount closes, you know, I think the discount closes maybe today or so. So let's try to, like, secure our slots by making these deposits now, because there's no guarantee that these discounts will still be on by tomorrow. So let's secure our slots, by paying either the full amount, £499, or the deposit, which is £250, to secure our slots. So right now I'll be taking questions. I'll give us about 10 minutes to do this, to make our payments, to make our inquiries. If you are joining from Nigeria and you want to know what the Naira equivalent is, based on the fact that you are a Nigerian resident, you know, send the numbers below a message. However, if you're in the UK and want to pay in Naira, you need to use the prevailing exchange rate to change it to Naira, or you pay the pounds amount that you have on the screen. So let's go to the chat box. So I'll leave this on the screen and take some questions, in the chat box. So would we be trained? So if you have questions, please let's drop the questions in the chat box. Once you make the payment as well, the WhatsApp lines are active. Send your screenshots, to the WhatsApp line so we can get you on board as well. Okay, I think so. If you have new questions, please drop your questions in the chat box on what we've learned so far. We still have a lot in stock for us. We're still going to meet our facilitators who would, also run us through one or two things on what we are going to get in the bootcamp. When is the program started? So the next cohort for this bootcamp is 4th of November, which is it next week or next 2 weeks? So November 4th is the next November 4th is the next start date. However, because we get sold out pretty quickly, there's possibility that we'll stop taking, payments at some points. Definitely this discount is ending soon, because, we don't like last minute payments. And like you can see the difference between the discounts we're offering now and what the price was when we took enrollments last month, So I'm happy. So when is the program starting, Ayodele? This program is starting November 4th. Please, can the discounts close on Monday? So please drop the link to the WhatsApp. So the chat box has the link to the WhatsApp. You can chat, you know, for questions and inquiries as well. Can we have the account numbers also pasted in the chat box as well? So, having said that, based on everything we've discussed so far, while we are taking the break for people to make their payments and all that, please drop your questions in the chat box. I'm happy to take your questions while we're at it. The closing time for the discount is quite early. Okay, so like Choma, so if you have questions that are, if you have questions that are related to discounts and all that, you can chat the WhatsApp numbers that have been placed down there. I've just said that there's no guarantee that the discounts will be extended further, because, yeah, we've had the discounts for quite some time now. So what is the time for the class? And we have, quite a number of people who have also enrolled as well. So the discount is based on availability. What's the time for the classes? So classes hold Saturday and Sundays, 5 to 7 p.m. And we have an LMS where recordings go to. We also have extra optional drop-in sessions that hold on Thursdays, 6 to 8 p.m. and on Saturdays, 1 to 3 p.m. This is more like a holding of hand sessions that we have, because we don't just take your money and just put you in the classes and not just follow up and all that, So we know it's a practical skill. It's not just something you learn. So we provide as many opportunities as possible for you to meet with us, to bring your questions, to meet with the facilitators for your questions. So Saturday drop-in sessions is 1 to 3 p.m. But like I said, it's optional. Nothing new is taught in the drop-in sessions. The drop-in sessions are just your own avenue of coming in to get answers to questions you might have. So if you are unable, to make it to those drop-in sessions, you are missing nothing. However, even meeting recordings to the drop-in sessions are usually dropped, on the group for you to have access to what has gone down, even though it's not proper classes. With the projects hold on weekends as well. So the projects are self-paced, right? Once you are put in groups, that's for the group projects. The individual ones, you just need to do them before the end of the boot camp. I think as you finish learning each of the skills, the projects, you get to start working on the projects. Then for the holistic projects, right? Your project team will decide, the best time to meet to delegate tasks and all that. But the program is a 10 weeks program. The projects go alongside the training itself. It's not like it's a separate period for the program. So how many of us want to be data analysts in the next 2 months? Can I get responses, in the chat box? How many of us want to become data analysts, want to get our success stories as data analysts, as finance analysts, as research analysts, clinical trial analysts in the next 2 months? Roslyn, I have your hands up. Thank you, Roslyn. So Roslyn is going to be a data analyst in the next 2 months. So how many of us? Dami, thank you, Dami. I want to get my success story by January. Rafat, I join in your faith, and I agree that, with our resources, with our support, and with your own, contribution as well, that's your learning, you are definitely going to get your success story by January. Ideally, I have your hands up. I love this class. Chioma, I have your hands up. Fantastic. So I have a lot of aspiring data analysts here. Fantastic. Shukra, Salami, Victor Oyedepo. Thank you. I'm very happy that, a lot of us, are actually, going to be taking this step to become data analysts in the Uzo. I want to get my success story by January. I also want to share your success story come January or even before, who knows, So I'm looking forward to share your success stories. If there are more people that, because I'm sure if you're very familiar with the RQY page, you see a lot of success stories where people come and say, I want to share my success story by this time. I want you to share, you must share my success story as well. And when I eventually share their success story, I try to capture as much of our conversations that happen, when they were engaging our services or trainings in the first place, and um, you see a lot of people say, I want to share my success story, and eventually I share their success stories. So I'm confident I'm going to be sharing your success story to Uzo, Amaka, and Rafat. So yeah, the program is 8 to 10 weeks long. That's just about 2 months, and probably the last 2 weeks to work on your group projects or your individual projects, I think. When is the discount ending? So as much, as the classes start on the 4th of November. However, it will be best because a lot of people have already started, I'm already getting alerts of a lot of people who are already securing their slots. Once we get to full capacity, we'll call off the discounts. Do you support in securing COS jobs in the UK? The process of supporting COS, I want to believe COS certificate of sponsorship jobs. I don't think there's any special support to getting COS jobs in the UK. To get visa sponsorship in the UK, you need to be in the right field, acquire the right skills. All this you would also learn in depth. Places to apply to. Those are the benefits that people in our alumni community get access to. The right places to apply to, right job search strategies, visa sponsorship strategies, and and all that. That's why you see that we share a lot of visa sponsorship success stories on our page. So you share my success story before January. I agree with you, and I join in your faith as well. So I want to believe, I think yeah, so we have the account numbers, we've done a screenshot of the page, to also be able to make the payments. Okay, so I don't know if you can still see my screen. So if you're in the UK, your um discounted amount is £499, you know. For Nigerian residents, send a message to the numbers below to secure or to talk further on the what's it called? Discounts, installment payment, and especially if you are based in Nigeria, I want to know what the Naira equivalent is based on your location. Okay, I think it's time for us to proceed. Should we call the numbers before making payments? I don't think you need to call the numbers. Just drop them. If you want to make the payments, the account numbers have been pasted. If you have other inquiries, chat with them on WhatsApp. To get your inquiries sorted. For Hey, I'm going to be. I want to take off my screen for a second, and then we can continue. And then I'll reshare it again so we can continue the session. But if we still have questions, please drop your questions in the chat box, even if it's not related to payments, if it's related to the, data analysis as a career path, any question at all that we might have, let's continue to drop us questions in the chat box, and definitely I'm going to take your questions. Trying to bring back my screen. Can you guys see my screen now? Okay, not yet. Okay, I'm going to be sharing again. Okay, I want to believe you can see my screen now. So let's continue. I want to believe everyone has sorted. If you have questions, please drop them in the chat box. You know, So let's move on. So what's the eligibility for visa sponsorship? I think I already got a question on COS, so that takes us to the next stage. So can you get visa sponsorship as a data analyst? Right. And this is even for the UK. I'm sure if you check visa sponsorship, tech roles, they're all in demand across, the world and, in places that matter, right? So in the UK, because majority of us are from the UK, right? If you are able to get data analysis related roles, right, you would be able to position yourself for visa sponsorship. So if you need visa sponsorship and you're considering what career path can I explore to be able to get this visa sponsorship, data analysis is a field for you to get visa sponsorship. We've worked with a lot of people who have been able to get visa sponsorships in the UK, with Citibank, with Nationwide, with a lot of companies really, that actually with the NHS, were able to get visa sponsorship jobs because they are data analysts or because they have data analytical skills. So with the code 3539, in case you need the code, right, you can be able to get, visa sponsorship. Is it in demand? I think you already know the answer to that question. Based on what I explained earlier, that a lot of companies, we are in a data-driven world. All decisions are made based on data, even more advanced. Because the thing is, you can't even become, even like after your data analytical, data analysis, whatever, there are so many advanced, opportunities you can also explore, so many continuous improvements you can do, to also continue to keep yourself relevant as well. So what's the duration of the bootcamp? For those that asked, I was going to get there. It's 8 to 10 weeks. The next start date is November 4th. Classes hold 5 to 7 p.m. Classes hold 5 to 7, p.m. And then drop-in sessions hold, as you can see on the screen as well. So I have some visuals here, how our students go from zero to being pros in analytics. So you can see some of our past students, who came to the bootcamp with zero experience and are able to prepare beautiful dashboards, as you can see like this. That's, people like us who are already experts, right? This is what we do on a day-to-day as well, prepare dashboards like this. And, they were able to gain this competency by joining our bootcamp. As you can see, they are sharing their journey as well, which is also part of, the things you can do, networking and all that you can do to boost your brand, right? And yeah, so you can see our students go from zero to being pro. You can see their first-hand testaments about the bootcamp, about how much they've been able to learn, about, how it has also helped, them. So we have some other, and this is what I would advise as well, for networking purposes. When you are learning a new skill, when you are engaged in new activities, share it with your network. You never know. The recruiter that you are connected to might just see something you posted about data analysis and push an opportunity that relates to data analysis, to you as well. So this is like showing you, just a few, just a few, um, just a few of our students that we've worked with, so meet our team of facilitators. So yeah, in this bootcamp, it's not just a one-man driven bootcamp. And personally, please let's mute ourselves, please. So I personally am one of the stakeholders on this bootcamp. I'm with you on the journey from the start, to the finish. Right. Also, we have other experts. We have Theophilus, who is a highly skilled data professional with over, 5 years of experience, both self-taught and professional settings. Right. His expertise cuts across data analysis, visualization, machine learning, deep learning, and his competence in a lot of analytical skills, programming skills as well. And he has applied this, both, you know, and I mean, he has applied this across industries as well. So Theophilus is going to be the professional that supports you in both in, is going to be working with the main facilitator to support you in the drop-in sessions, in classes as well. And we also have Olusegun Adeolu. Segun is also an experienced data professional with over a decade of expertise across data analysis, engineering, administration. So yeah, Segun is an expert in data cleaning, visualization, and statistical analysis. So we'll be hearing quite some additional insights from Segun. Theophilus is not here right now because he's actually facilitating a drop-in session with some of our alumni community. So Segun will be, giving us a brief of, what we will be getting in the boot camp, right? And what he will be teaching us through. So it's going to be our driver, in the 5 to 7 p.m. classes on Saturday and
My name is
Sundays.
Segun, as she has rightly said. I'll be the driver alongside with Theophilus. We've been taking the boot camp for quite some time. And these are some of the things we are going to be learning during this boot camp. We have 4 major tools that you'll be learning during this boot camp. You're going to be learning Excel from zero experience to pro, Excel, Power BI, Tableau, SQL, and she has rightly said you're going to be getting some top-ups. You're going to be getting exposed to introduction to Python, Optrix, and presentation skills. Okay, so main focus of this bootcamp is this stuff that you are going to be learning: data extraction with SQL, data analysis with Excel and SQL, data visualization, presentation, dashboards, business intelligence. So what is data extraction? Data extraction using SQL is writing queries to communicate with your data. Like she has rightly said, she introduced us to what data analysis is all about. Much more than that, your data will be coming from different sources. Your data could be coming from your local machine, which is it could be your desktop, it could be your laptop. Your sources could be from Google Drive, it could be from OneDrive, it could be from cloud and all of that. So if you are picking your data set from a database, a relational database, so to say, you are going to be writing queries through, as in using SQL. SQL is structured query language. That's the language that database understands. Like we all know, if you want to communicate effectively with a friend, you have to communicate in the language that the person understands. If you have a French friend and you do not know how to communicate in French, you need an interpreter, you need an intermediary. Okay, for you to be able to extract data from a relational database, you need to know how to use SQL very well. So this is one of the things we are going to be taught during this boot camp. All right. We are going to be doing data analysis with Excel as well, which is where we are going to be starting. Some of us can just use Excel just to do inputting and all of that. Beyond that, we are going to help you acquire deep insight, the deep knowledge and deep capability to be able to explore and make use of all the features that Excel has in place. All right. So after analysis, you're going to be doing data visualization. Data visualization is presentation of representation of your data. Like we know, data are beyond just figures. But there are some meaningful insights. There are some insights behind every figure that you see. So we are going to be telling stories using all those data. So after we must have drawn some insights, analysis, extraction, and all of that, we are going to be presenting it in a meaningful way. Okay, some of our stakeholders are not tech savvy. Some of them, they have phobia for figures. They don't like to see figures. But when you present it in graphs, in charts, it makes sense to them. Okay, it makes sense to them. So these are all the things we are going to be showing you how to do in this boot camp. All right. Another data visualization tool that we are going to be learning is Tableau. We are going to be learning Power BI. We are going to be learning Tableau. Main, the most commonly used data visualization tool across the globe. Power BI is commonly used, is most commonly used. Likewise, Tableau, even though the two of them are from two different vendors. So we are going to be taught how to make use of this. Then another thing is business intelligence. How to drop business intelligence, how to be able to use the data to make informed business decision making. We are going to be taught all of this, and as well the soft skills, effective communication skills, interpersonal relationship, attention to details, um, and so many other. There are so many of them. Problem solving skills. So these are all the soft skills that we are going to put to use during the group project. Okay, so let me move on to the next slides. These are the tasks of a data analyst. The task of a data analyst is to prepare data, to model data, to analyze data, to visualize and manage the data. What do you understand, or what do you all mean by preparation of data? Preparation data starts from collection of data. When you collect the data, what do you want to achieve with the data? You collect the data. Like I said, the data could be from different sources. It could be from your local machine, it could be from the cloud, it could be from database and all of that. So when you collect this data, you create a model. So the implementation of the model for you to be able to do a proper analysis, for you to be able to create relationship between tables, because at times when you're working with a data set, you have two or more tables coming together. So you have to create a relationship or look for way to find a relationship that exists between all those tables for you to have a proper and appealing analysis. All right. So once you finish the analysis, you want to visualize the data. You want to visualize you want to represent all those figures, all those data. You want to represent them in charts and graphs. So once you do that, you want to manage the data. Management of data has to do with management of data and other data sources. So all this will be dealt with in depth when you come for the boot camp. All right. Um, Excel is one of the tools that we're going to be learning. It's one of the most widely used spreadsheets. Okay, it's one of the most widely used spreadsheet tools around the world. So Excel, Google Sheets, they do the same thing. So as a professional, as a data professional, you need to know how to use Excel. And one of the good things that RKO has done with this boot camp is this. He prepared this boot camp having us in mind. All the things that we need to get, everything that you need in the field has been put into this boot camp. Okay, so what you'll be doing, what you'll be able to do after this training, you'll be able to gain solid understanding of the basics to advanced Microsoft Excel, from inputting data into Excel to using data to extract it, to using Excel to extract data from the web, from the data, from the database, and the host of other. Harness the full power of Microsoft Excel to automate day-to-day tasks. You can as well use Excel to do your day-to-day automation task. Okay, as a data analyst, you can use Excel, just Excel, to analyze your data and at the same time to create an insightful and appealing report and dashboard. Meanwhile, you are creating a report. Once you finish analyzing, it doesn't end there. You need to present your insights. You need to present your recommendations to your stakeholders. Okay, so we are going to be creating dynamic reports. We are going to be using pivot tables and some other advanced functions in Excel. XLOOKUP, VLOOKUP, index match, can't if, logical functions, and the host of others. So we are going to be doing all of this, and we are going to be getting our hands dirty while learning Excel from the beginning to the end. It's hands on. All right, the next one is Power BI. Power BI is another tool by Microsoft. Microsoft is the vendor behind, the brain behind Power BI. Power BI is Power Business Intelligence. So Power BI helps us to connect to multiple data sources. Like I said, your data source could be from your local machine, from the cloud, from Google Drive, from OneDrive, from database. With the help of Power BI, you'll be able to connect to different data sources to pull your data sets for you to be able to create appealing, beautiful, visually immersive, and interactive reports. You create reports, you create dashboards, and from there you'll be able to get insights, and for you to be able to make informed business decisions. So a proficiency in Power BI proficiency in Power BI positions you for business intelligence roles. When if you master just Power BI alone, you can do a whole lot. Okay, you can do a whole lot. You can analyze data, you can build reports, can do dashboard and all of that. So we are going to be teaching you how to make use of Power BI, starting from the installation of Power BI to you pulling your data from different sources and building a beautiful report and dashboard. So I'm going to be showing you some of those, a few of dashboards that I created using Power BI. Okay, so another data visualization tool is a Tableau. Tableau is owned by Salesforce. Tableau is owned by Salesforce. It does similar thing with a Power BI. It also allows you to create beautiful and interactive dashboard and reports, pulling data from different sources. And we know that you need to do, as a data analyst, you clean your data and you put your data in proper structure. So with the help of Tableau, with the help of Power BI, you can clean your data. You can clean your data and populate your data, build an interactive dashboard. Then from there, you present it. You can even use it to present your report. You can use it to present your report. And these tools can handle huge volume of data with better performance. Okay, so we are going to be showing you all of this from zero experience to becoming a pro. All right, the last one is SQL. The SQL is structured query language, which is a language of database. Like I told you earlier, this is a language that database understands. Some people call it SQL, while some other people call it structured query language. So we are going to be using this to interrogate our data. Data analysis has to do with you interrogating your data, questioning your data to know more details, to get to know um, beyond seeing these figures. Because when you just see all those numbers, they don't really make any sense without you questioning the data sets further. So you're going to be using SQL to query your data from the database. Okay, you are going to be using it to do data cleaning, you are going to be using it to do data manipulation, data updates, and all of that. So you are going to be using it to do data extraction. And this skill, SQL skill, is in high demand. It is in high demand across the globe. It is in high demand across the globe. If you are very good at using SQL, you have lots of roles that you can you can pick as a job, high paying job, as a data analyst, as a finance analyst, business analyst, even as a database administrator. Okay, so if you are very good at this, it is a plus. So in this boot camp, we are going to be taking Excel, SQL, Power BI, Tableau in just 8 to 10 weeks. So all of these are what we are going to be dishing out to you, and it's going to be um, hands on from beginning to the end. So I'm going to show you some of the I think just to I have just to because of our time, just to um, um, reports and dashboards created in Power BI. All right, so let me just show you. So this is one of them. Um, we use Asan sales data, and the data spans from 2016 to 2020. So you can see this is one of the pages that we created using Power BI. So like this, you are going to be taught how to do something like this, even something much beautiful than this. This is what you are going to be taught how to use it. This is from the data. This is the data set. This is the data set, and from this data set, we're able to do all of this. All of this. This is the navigation. You can move from the segment. This is segment. You can move from segment to category. Then from category, you can move from category as well to another page. So all of them are linked together. All of them are linked together and they are interactive. This is for technology. So if I click on technology, you see that everything is interactive. So it's cuts across. It's cuts across. So Power BI helps you to build, both Power BI and Tableau help you to build interactive dashboard. So let me quickly show you the second one before I hand over back to um, RKY. So this is the second um, dashboard that was created in using Power BI. I use Power BI as well to do this, and you are going to be taught how to use Power BI to do all this. These are other pages. So these are other pages. So likewise, yourself, you'll be able to do something like this, even something more beautiful than this. And all you just need to do is just come with a laptop, open mind, with open mind, and everything is going to be dished out to you. You are going to learn everything from start to finish. Okay, so let me hand us over back to RKY. RKY, are you there?
Thank you
You're
so much.
welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. So you can secure your spot with 250. I've not said the discounts will end today. What I've just said is that because we get sold out and we'll be running this discounts for quite a while, we might actually close the discounts anytime soon. So the earlier, the better, you know, for us. The payment information is here again. Let's take screenshots, as well. So what are the upcoming events we have in RKY? I think I was quite excited when I saw that quite a number of us, are joining from Brum, from Birmingham. I want to believe that's the same. So we have an event, a live networking events and tech events happening in November so we're going to be hosting an event where we have recruiters, career coaches, and other experts. So we get to meet ourselves physically. You get to meet me physically. You get to talk to me. You get to talk to, some of our facilitators and some of our experts as well. And so I've been invited to speak at quite a number of networking events, and I feel that this is a very, very important, it's very important for us, right, to make the right connections, to attend this kind of events, as it helps, to inspire us and to also elevate our careers. So if you are yet to book your spots, either you are in Birmingham or the West Midlands, or you can travel from anywhere you are at all, so we are currently running a 50% discount for students. I think that brings it back down to about £7. And this is going to be it's more like a CSR event because you're going to be getting lots of souvenirs, you're going to be getting refreshments. So, but just to get the quite serious, we don't just want people to just book and block the registration stuff on Eventbrite. So just with £7, you can be able to secure your slots and attend this event physically. So it's going to be a mind-blowing event where you get, lots of experts to network with, connect with, ask questions, and learn from. So if you are yet to secure your seats for that event, please admin drop the link as well in the chat box for people to fill. This is happening November 18th, 3 to 6 p.m. I believe you should be able to make out time to be there. Right. Upcoming career workshops. We have career workshop in compliance, projects management, and business analysis also happening this time next week as well. So if you have friends and family who are interested in any of our offerings, please share this information with them as well. So if you join this session late and you want to catch up on it, please you can just go to your YouTube right now and connect to RKY. Subscribe to our channel so that you can get notification when we drop the recording as well. So I'll be going to the chat box to take some final questions before we call it a day. So if you have questions, we're about to wrap up and call it a day. Please drop your questions to the chat box. It's been such an amazing moment with each and every one of you, regardless of where you're joining from. It's been an amazing moment meeting every one of you. You've been very interactive. You've been very wonderful so far. So I can't wait to meet you guys physically on a face-to-face as well. Let's meet, let's connect, let's give that, come talk about your career situation and come just connect, meet people, in Birmingham, November 18th. So I'm going to be reading out the last set of questions. Oh, wow. Thanks. So what do you reckon then? I use a MacBook. So yes, for the session, because of some of the tools and for your own good as well, I think we recommend you use a Windows laptop. So if you don't have one, try to get one. I think it's just, you can't just use some of those tools. Power BI, I think, with on the MacBook. It's not like you can't use it, but I think you have to go through some third-party channels to download, you know, as well. But the thing is, once you enroll, we'd also equip you with the information you need, for the boot camp itself. So, do we have any comments, any questions before we wrap it up? We've been very good time managers. It's 1 minute to 4. My plan is to wrap this up by 4. And we have just 1 minute to 4. And we've dished out lots of value. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Roslyn. I can't wait to meet you all at the other side in class. Amazing session. See you in class.